Breaking news. Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns have been summoned to a special meeting in Cameroon where they will be addressed by the FIFA president Gianni Infantino and the Caf president Mr. or Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Now, guys, I think you are not prepared for this. If you thought that Kaizer Chiefs will just end up playing only in the PSL and competing in the Champions League together with Mamelodi Sundowns, you must think twice. There is a lot that is going to surprise you guys. The story has been captured by the South African.com, and together with Itiski TV, they have covered the same story but in different angle. Today I'm about to bring you all of these facts of. Guys, this is huge, and believe you me when I say it, this is huge. But before we get into the video, guys, please do subscribe to this YouTube channel, like the video, comment in the comment section below, and guys, please join, become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand. And let's go back to the video again. Now, I'm gonna read exactly what Mr. Patrice Motsepe and Gianni Infantino have to say in this special meeting that is to take place about the continental tournament that consists of only the big teams in South Africa, not in South Africa, in Africa. So your Al Ahly, your what they are there, your Zamalek, your you know what I'm saying, all these big clubs in Africa. But it is something that doesn't come as a shock to notice that Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates is not among the teams that are attending that, because the chairman of Orlando Pirates is actually the president of the current president of the PSL, so he wouldn't take Orlando Pirates outside this league. Now, in the words of the people themselves, Gianni Infantino and Patrice Motsepe, they say, and what is important from what I was hearing and the presentation here in this project, and that's why of course we are supporting it. It is that compare, for example, with the project that were discussed in Europe. It is completely different proposition. It is not all a breakaway league. It is an African Super League integrated in the institutional structure of African and global football. Here it was. These are the words of Gianni Infantino. Now it continues to say, and the second big difference is that it is an open competition, allowing all calls for teams to be promoted and also to be relegated if they don't perform. So it is a complete different proposition. It is a positive proposition for Africa. It is a unique project for global football and African football. And for this reason, I'm very happy to be here to help contribute and assist and to share a little bit of our experience that we have accumulated over the last few years, said Mr. Gianni Infantino. In the words of Mr. Motsepe, he says, a few years ago, I think this issue that Africa needs a huge league. And I mean, in the last few months I have been the president, I have instilled a sense of extreme urgency around it. These are the words from Mr. Patrice Motsepe. What excites me is that I have a private discussion. In fact, I have been approached by people who never sponsored football. We want to be part of this because it is commercially viable. You know, because there is ethnics in CAF, there is governance, there is transparency, there is accountability, said Mr. Patrice Motsepe. Now, Mr. Patrice Motsepe was not shy to acknowledge that Mr. Infantino, the FIFA president, is his friend. Now, you must look at what Mr. Gianni Infantino want and what Mr. Motsepe has already said. In his words, let's start with Mr. Motsepe. He acknowledged publicly, he acknowledged that ever since he became the CAF president, he had made sure that he create this or he made sure that, you know, he put more energy and he drives this thing of the African Super League tournament, which will, by the way, include clubs overseas. So, and then the other thing that we need to notice is that in South Africa, in Africa to be exact, they haven't faced opposition, unlike the same thing that was proposed in England, where I remember seeing Chelsea fans, Tottenham Hotspur fans, Manchester United fans, Liverpool fans protesting, saying this thing, it must stop. But in Africa, to be specific, they haven't faced a different opposition. I mean, a fierce opposition. So that's why so far the plans are in progress. And then the other thing to note is that now when you look at Mr. Gian Infantino, he is a person who wants to play football, the World Cup after 2 years. So you can see that between Mr. Motsepe and Gian Infantino, there are a lot of things that they are trying to do, or they are trying to change as far as football is concerned. And I'm not sure whether he was part and parcel of the people who were seriously supporting the Super League in Europe. But when I say that, I'm saying that in a forefront, because he clearly stated that he is in support of the Super League, even in Europe, you see. So it's something that they are working around the clock. But you and I, as a South African, or if you are watching this from a South African context, there is a possibility that Kaizer Chiefs and the Mamelodi Sundowns might not participate in the PSL. Reason being is that obviously the PSL, once they create that, the PSL is not in favor of the Super League in Africa. So once they create that, you might find that the local leagues will then try to punish you. And another thing to note, guys, is that the issue between Kaizer Chiefs and the league, it is much more deeper than you think. In fact, the issue of Super League is actually the source of the problem between the PSL and Kaizer Chiefs. And I can tell you now, mark my words, buckle up, because if they do not face opposition, the Super League will be there, and Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs will be the participant. Whether on the later stage they will be relegated or not, it remains to be seen. But I can guarantee you that from what it looks right now, Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns will be part of it. But now there is another aspect to it. If you look at the team with a lot of supporters, so let's say for instance, if you are Nedbank Cup, if you design your Nedbank Cup, if you are MTN and you design your MTN that cup, and then you are Telkom, you design your Telkom League, your Telkom Cup, you want a team like Kaizer Chiefs to be part of that. Reason being is Kaizer Chiefs to be in particular, they are the ones with the most supporters. So that means sponsors are most likely to make money when Kaizer Chiefs is involved. That's why even if Kaizer Chiefs do not win, but they will wish that Kaizer Chiefs must remain at least they must be in the final, at least losing the final. For on a sponsorship perspective, it makes a lot of financial sense to continue the cup. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the strength. And another thing to note is that if you're talking about Kaizer Chiefs, even in the media platform, even on YouTube, you are most likely to get more views as opposed to talking about Orlando Pirates and Sundowns. So that shows you how faithful are Kaizer Chiefs supporters in terms of supporting their brand. And there are many. So if you lose Kaizer Chiefs in the Premier League, so in as much as the Premier League will want to punish Kaizer Chiefs, but deep down in their heart, they do not want to drive Kaizer Chiefs away from the PSL, because from a commercial point of view, it makes a lot of sense to have Kaizer Chiefs in the league. But I've given you this breaking news. It is now up to you. What do you take? And today, guys, today, let me get the date today. Today, what's the date? Today, it is the 6th of February, 2022. Kaizer Chiefs, right now, Kaizer Chiefs representative are in Cameroon as we speak, together with Mamelodi Sundowns. Today, before the final between Senegal and Egypt, the meeting will take place at 2:30, and it is scheduled to take place at 2:30, or from 3:30, I mean, until 4:30 today. Latest 5 o'clock today. That's how long the meeting is scheduled to take. Now, it is basically, I'm trying to prove to you that journalists who cracked these stories now, they really work hard to crack this story. Now, people who usually crack such stories are called investigative journalism. Now, when you study investigative journalism, it is your duty to crack a story, and then maybe they can give it to someone else to write it, but they crack the story and give it to somebody. Their duty is to find the breaking news. And in this one, I commend the South African.com in terms of the investigative journalism, their work in this story. It is marvelous, and they need to be given credit for their work. And I'm saying again to you guys, buckle up. Things are changing in the PSL.